everyone, it's Rebecca, and today for our Journal the Word book of notes, we are going to make an ephemera background. Ephemera. Wow, do I love this stuff. And I have containers upon containers of little bits and pieces of stuff I have collected over the years and things that I download from the internet. One of my favorite places to do that is called the Graphics Fairy. She gives away a new piece of ephemera every single day. So if you don't know about her, check that out. And I also do some tutorials for her on her blog and on her paid membership site. So you might want to check those out too. They're kind of fun. So anyway, I'm going to take some of this stuff today and just make a beautiful ephemera background. These are some laces I dyed myself, and they're vintage. And I love to do that also. That's something else we're going to learn along the way in one of my classes this year. So I'm just going to move all this stuff off to the side and pick a few pieces and just begin here. This is a fun process. I've got old book pages, old magazine pages. This is just so much fun, and I am going to glue it down today with some matte Mod Podge, but you can also use soft gel medium in a matte. So there's lots of things you can do this with. You can also use glue. If you use Mod Podge or one of the gel medium things, use an old scruffy kind of brush is my best recommendation. Oops, and I want to get my little protective page under here so I don't get all the pages under this glued together. That's sometimes a problem. Okay, get my act together here. All right, so I'm just going to start up in this corner. I'm going to spread some of the matte medium. And what am I going to start with? I've got lots of music here. I love that. I'm going to save that for something very special, I think. So I just want a small, tiny piece of music. And that's probably going to go down there. So maybe we'll put this up here. That looks good. This process is just really about getting it down on the page. There's no right or wrong. My eye is going to be different than yours. If we had the same pile of ephemera, we would probably make different things. So that's all part and parcel of the process. So you put it down. That little corner is a little aggravated. And just brush some more over the top. And make sure that is secured. And you really can't put too much of the gluey stuff down. And I think we're good with this. Let me not spill anything. I think we are pretty good. This has to dry, and then I'm going to come back and trim and age the edges. So let me get this dry, and I'll be back to show you that part. So that didn't take very long. I love the fact that this Mod Podge dries fairly quickly. I used a hairdryer today to speed up the process a little bit. I've cut a couple of pieces of my little hand-dyed lace, and I am going to age the page before I attach that. The last thing I'm going to do is put the lace on the page. So I'm just going to come in here right around the edges. And I got a whole lot in that area, but that's okay. It is what it is. Aging doesn't have a rhyme or reason. So, I hope I'm staying on camera. Let me check. Sometimes I get real carried away with what I'm doing and forget that I have moved the journal clear off of the screen area. So I am just going to take this while I've got it and come in across the middle areas and just rub around a little bit to age some of this a little bit further. Go ahead and get in here by the spiral. So I think that's pretty darn good. All right, that was done with Distressed Ink Walnut Stain. So that's the pretty dark one. I don't use that oftentimes, but it happened today. That was what was sitting here on my art desk. I'm just going to put this little piece of lace, I think, right in this area. And actually just put that down the same way you put your paper ephemera, is just with the Mod Podge. Okay, and I am going to do something fun with this little piece of pink. Or, you know, I've always got pink, so I'm just going to let it meander across the page to just give some movement to the page itself. So let me just get a little bit of glue down and let this kind of fall in there where it may. If I can get my old crunchy fingers out of the way. That kind of looks good, doesn't it? I like the way that's curling around there. I'm going to use plenty of my Mod Podge to settle that in, and I'm going to settle it with my fingers. Settle it down there with my fingers. And then I can come in with a little cloth and kind of dab at that to remove some of that excess glue, as that was quite a lot. And it would take a long time to dry. And I gotta scan this puppy and get this in the printable today. Okay, so I think we are done, folks. I am loving this. I hope you are too. Isn't that cool? All right, everybody, so let's get in our studios today for 20 or so minutes. Let's journal the word, and let's create another background for our book of notes. This is Rebecca E. Parsons, and May joy be with you all.